Mm,
Can you also address the benefit of skincare post and pre-makeup?
yes. Okay. So
Thank you for following.
I so prepping the skin, you need to know like the skin type of the person that you're working on. So
Oily acne prone.
yeah, oily acne prone, but you also have like this dry
There's like
area.
a really, this part,
Yeah.
that's because I'm using the
the
Retin-A.
Retin-A. Yeah.
I'm using a product which dries out the skin to help with hyperpigmentation and acne, and what it does is it completely dries out one area. So in certain parts of my skin, even though my face is very, very oily, I'm using a product which is drying it out so that it doesn't have excess like sebum, and it's really trying to like just like peel back certain layers of the skin to refresh it. So I'm doing like a medical treatment, so that's why parts of it will be dry, and you needed to know that beforehand.
Yeah, I did. That's like a good point, because I don't think I would have thought to address this, but it's good to like ask the person if they're on any special like type of skincare. Yeah, we were talking about prepping the skin. So for Mel, what I did is you put moisturizer, you put a gel moisturizer, so that's not like a moisturizer that is very like thick and oily. So you have different types of skin types. You have dry. People tend to mix these two around. I did. Dry, dehydrated, oily, combination, normal. So the difference between dry and dehydrated. So for example, the thing that you have around your jawline, that is dry. You usually notice that when the skin is sort of like peeling, you'll have like little like bits of like dead skin cells like coming off. It means that it needs oil.
Which I'm trying to remove.
So you need like something that's very emollient, something that's very thick and very like, it's not even hydrating, it's just like a lot of, I don't want to say grease because that's the way we say it in French, but it's not the term in English. But yeah, you do need oil.
A bit more oil based, would you say?
Yeah, a bit more oil based.
Okay.
Like thicker creams. My skin, for example, does have certain areas that are dry, but most of my skin is actually dehydrated. So the way you figure out if your skin is dehydrated is like, for example, when you use soap on your face, a lot of people have this, but it will start burning, it'll be really, really tight, like to a point where it's like very uncomfortable. A lot of people have this feeling of tightness when they wash their skin, but dehydrated skin like really, really feel as if like it almost itches like sometimes. And that means you don't need oil, you need water. So the problem with moisturizer is that moisturizer is just one word for both of them.
Okay.
And for like all my life until makeup school, I would use a moisturizer that just said hydrating, and I thought, okay, hydrating, I have dry skin. No, it was hydrating, but in the sense that it was giving me more oil and when I needed more water, so it wasn't actually fixing my problem. Moisturizers that give you more water is, I think, the one that you use. They're more gel-like textures. They just sink into the skin and then you can't feel them anymore.
Yes.
Those are good for oily skins, because oily skins don't actually need more oil. You still need to hydrate an oily skin, but don't put more oil on it. You just put more water. So the moisturizer you have is really good for your skin type. And then just around that area, I use like a moisturizer with more.
If anybody is interested in the products I'm talking about, I've made a skincare
I really like
sheet.
That. Yeah.
Thank you. I made a whole skincare sheet. That's obviously for my skin. If you have dry skin, don't use that. But if these are like the products that Elise is talking about. So if you ever, how you doing, Sylvan? So if you are ever wondering what products she's talking about, because they're my personal products, she doesn't have them in her kit because it's for my skin. There's my skincare routine.
Yeah.
Alina. I didn't know about that, about dehydrated and
it blew
dry.
my mind.
I feel a little bit like
when I learned that, I was like, wait, I've been doing it all wrong since the beginning. Oh my god. It's just like, I was just like, okay, I need to go out and buy a new moisturizer. So like a good one that I have, the thing that's like really, really, really pricey is from Clinique. They have like something called Moisture Surge. That one's really good. Their eye cream also as well is really good. I have patches of dry but mostly dehydrated skin, so I'd be best looking for oil base. So Caesar, you can actually start out with a water base, and then like in patches. See, it's what I do is I have a water-based moisturizer everywhere, and then I use an oil-based moisturizer on my chin because lately it's been dry, and on my nose as well. So I just layer them on. You don't need to put a lot. You just need to layer like thin layers of it on.
Cake says, well, I've got oily skin and I've always hated moisturiser, and
Oh.
now I know why. Elise says, do you clean somebody's face before you work on them, or do you trust their own face routine?
I didn't clean your face, but if I was working on someone else, that's why I have micellar water. I would clean their face first and start just like basic. Why? Is because that some people will be like, I don't have any makeup on, and then you'll use that on them and you'll be like, this is coming out with foundation.
Why is it skin toned?
Why is this skin toned? Because they'll have like either they'll have like done like a really like BB cream or something, and for some reason they think that that's not makeup, or it's the makeup from the day before that they took off but didn't take off properly, and therefore there's still residue. So your eyes are kind of creeping me out. Yeah, it is weird when you see the two of them next to each other.
Okay. Sorry. Carry on.
So I always use micellar water on that person's face, and then start over with moisturizer, and then like even like a more emollient moisturizer if I see that they have like dry patches. It's good to like that's the perfect moment when you can talk to the client and ask them, so what is your skin type? What are you struggling with? When you apply foundation, like what are the areas that are just like annoying to you to do? Not only that's the perfect moment to relate to them being like, oh yeah, I understand, that must be difficult. Okay, we're gonna try to find a solution, but also it gives you a lot of information, like as an artist to be like, oh, okay, she said she had like oily skin, therefore I'm not gonna use like a really like oily moisturizer on her face because it already has enough oil on it. I also like to use that time, like when I apply a moisturizer, sometimes I'll apply it with a brush so that when I use the foundation afterwards, there's a little bit of the moisturizer on the brush that's left, and it sort of like shears it out a little bit, makes it like easier to blend in. Or if you really want to give like the spa experience to your client, I would apply it like with my hands and just not give like a full-on massage, but like sort of like just apply it like smoothly. It just relaxes them before the makeup process even starts.